Watching the news in English is a great way to improve your English, but let's face it, they use some pretty advanced words. They will often use very difficult English phrasal verbs. Who knows? They might throw in an idiom or two. So, in today's English lesson, what I would like to do is watch a news clip about Elon Musk interviewing former President Trump. I will explain some of the difficult vocabulary they use, some of those English phrasal verbs, so the next time you have a conversation in English, or maybe if you are studying for the IELTS or TOEFL exams, you will feel more comfortable. Let's watch a short clip from ABC News. I have put the subtitles on the screen and I've slowed it down just a little bit.
It's now called X, for a long conversation with Elon Musk that was hampered by technical issues. Rachel Scott is tracking the race. Good morning, Rachel.
Hey, George, good morning to you. This all got off to a very rocky start. That conversation was delayed by more than 40 minutes because of those tech issues. Elon Musk said he wanted to have this conversation so that the former president could appeal to independent voters. Overnight, Donald Trump's bot returned to the platform that once banished him for posting false claims about the election. The company saying at the time the account was permanently suspended due to the risk of further incitement of violence.
One of the first difficult phrases I heard them use was hampered by technical issues. Whoa, that can be very tough. I have a proper definition for you, and then I will use that term in a sentence. Hampered by technical issues. It means delayed or made difficult by problems with technology.
Conversation with Elon Musk that was hampered by technical issues.
The interview with Donald Trump was hampered by technical issues. It started 40 minutes late. So hampered means there's some kind of problem. But you can also have a hamper in your house. What is that? A hamper can be a place to keep dirty clothes until you're ready to wash them. Let's talk about this next word, track. It can be a noun, it can be a verb. We are going to talk about a couple different ways it is used. In the interview, they say tracking the race. What does that mean? Following or keeping an eye on the progress of an election or a competition. You can imagine that former President Trump has a team of people tracking his campaign. They are checking to make sure that they are doing well against Vice President Harris. Elon Musk asked Donald Trump how he was tracking the race for the presidency. But sometimes when I order something through the mail, I will be able to track that package. I can keep an eye on it. Maybe I have an app on my phone that tells me where my package is. You probably have something like this in your country. You can also run on a track. Maybe you want to get a little exercise, so you go down to the local track and run around it. Hopefully, you are not hampered by a bad leg. If you are hampered by that, it would make your run a little more difficult. If it wouldn't be too much trouble, could you give this lesson a like? Hit that like button, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe so you never miss another English lesson. And the interview got off to a rocky start. Got off, that is an English phrasal verb meaning to start. And a rocky start is one that has problems. Here is the official definition. Began with some problems or some difficulties. Now, I hope this didn't happen to you today, but if you had a bad morning, you can say your day started with a rocky start. Hopefully by lunchtime, it gets better. The interview got off to a rocky start when the video connection failed. I'm not sure if you tried to listen to that interview on X or Twitter. It's called X now, but if you tried to listen to that interview at the start on X, you weren't able to do it. They had some major technical problems. It got off to a rocky start.
Good morning to you. This all got off to a very rocky start. That conversation was delayed by more than 40 minutes.
This is a difficult one. Could appeal to independent voters. A lot of people in this country are either a Republican or a Democrat, but there are some people who are neither a Democrat or a Republican. We call those independents. They do not belong to a political party. And if you appeal to someone, that means they like you. Elon Musk is hoping that Donald Trump can appeal to independent voters. He's definitely going to appeal to Republican voters. That's his political party. But he probably won't appeal to Democratic voters. They will probably vote for Vice President Harris. Here is the official definition. Might be liked by voters who are not loyal to any political party. Donald Trump explained how his new campaign could appeal to independent voters.
Elon Musk said he wanted to have this conversation so that the former president could appeal to independent voters.
The next one is botched return. I hope you have never heard botched before. Hopefully, I can teach you that. But a botched return is a failed or poorly handled comeback. Donald Trump was kicked off of Twitter. He was forced to leave, but now he's back. So that's his return. That's his comeback. And if something is botched, it's failed, it's messed up, it didn't work. The interview was designed to welcome President Trump back to Twitter or X, but it was clearly a botched return.
Overnight, Donald Trump's botched return to the platform that once banished him for posting false claims about the election.
It was botched because of those technical issues. We have a TV show here in the United States called Botched, and it's all about people who get plastic surgery. Maybe they want to fix their nose, but the doctor botches it. Messes it up. It doesn't look right. Earlier this year, I had a hair transplant where I got more hair here in the front of my head. Luckily, it wasn't botched. Some of the hair has fallen out. It's supposed to fall out, but it will be back soon. Thank you to Cab for the hair transplant. If you would like a transplant yourself, I can get you 10% off. Check the description below. Oh dear. Banished. This is a bad one. Sent away or removed from a place or situation, usually as a punishment. So at one time, and we will talk about why a little later, Donald Trump was banished from Twitter. I can't call Twitter X for some reason. It's still Twitter to me. Here is a sentence using banished. Trump was banished from Twitter for a long time before Elon Musk let him back.
Overnight, Donald Trump's botched return to the platform that once banished him for posting false claims about the election.
In the news clip, they said permanently suspended. I would like to talk about each of those words on their own. Let's start with permanent. Permanent means forever, for all time. And if you look at that picture, that person is getting a tattoo. And guess what? Tattoos are forever. They will stay on your skin until the end of time. Here is a sentence, not about Elon Musk or Donald Trump, using permanently. She moved to Canada and lived there permanently, never returning to the United States. If you get a tattoo, it is permanently on your skin. It's not temporary. Temporary is the opposite of permanent. Temporary only lasts for a short period of time. Donald Trump worried that he had been permanently banned from Twitter. Turned out he was only temporarily banned. Temporarily. Not easy to say.
The company saying at the time the account was permanently suspended due to the risk of further incitement of violence.
Suspended. They talked about that in the news clip. What does that mean? Temporarily, there's that word again, temporarily prevented from taking part in something. And I will talk about that picture in just a second. Suspended is never a good thing. Do you know what a driver's license is? It's a piece of paper or a card that you need to show in order to drive a car. Your driver's license could be suspended. That means you can't drive for a short period of time. And this person in the car, they might have been driving with a suspended license. I'm sure the police officer will make them pay some money. Hopefully, they won't have to do jail time.
He's saying at the time the account was permanently suspended due to the risk of further incitement of violence.
Incitement of violence. What does that mean? Encouraging others to act in a harmful or violent way. If you incite violence, that means you want other people to do violence, to commit crimes. The two discussed the reasons behind Trump's suspension, including the possible incitement of violence. Okay, we have this thing now in English called January 6th. Whenever you hear that, think of a time when people, ordinary citizens, broke into the Capitol building. That is the Capitol building in that picture. Some people say that President Trump incited violence on January 6th. Some people say President Trump wanted people to get violent, and that is why he was kicked off. There is a phrasal verb we can use. That is why he was kicked off of Twitter or suspended from Twitter. I hope this was a helpful lesson for you. If you are looking for more English lessons, I did one about our future vice president. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time.